Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Escape Pod. Thank you so much for escaping with us. That's Andrew, and I'm Alex.
As always, with great power comes great Stranger Things Season 5 ability. That's
correct.
why we're here. That's why you're here. We're going to do that. There's one other thing we're going to do this episode. It'll be later.
Yes.
We're going to jump right into Stranger Things. We're going to do like maybe a few minutes of spoiler free, but then there will be spoilers. There is your warning.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're also going to be doing some extra Stranger Things stuff on the Patreon.
Yes.
We've got a Stranger Things moments bracket, Stranger Things scenes that we're going to do a whole bracket for.
Yes.
Not including anything from Season 5.
Correct.
We'll revisit that once Season 5 is done.
Correct.
And then we're also going to do a fan segment that's totally Stranger Things themed. So people are submitting questions. We're going to answer your Stranger Things questions on the Patreon. We'll do that for like a freaking hour.
Yes.
But first, we're talking Stranger Things. Then we're going to do a bracket later this episode. So if you don't know anything Stranger Things, you can kind of skip to that. But I just want to say thank you for all the Stranger Things love.
Yeah.
It's been a very fun month. Y'all have been enjoying the episodes. Y'all have been enjoying Stranger Things. I've just been having so much fun on the podcast and everything else with making Stranger Things content. I've been loving the rewatches. I've been loving all the DMs. I spent about 30 minutes like this last hour just responding to people on Instagram, talking to them about Stranger Things, because I love it so much. The amount of, we get comments a lot that are like, I'm loving the episodes or whatever, and I love that, but this is the first time that I've ever gotten so many specifically that were like, I rewatched the show or started watching the show because of you. And that means a lot to me. So thank you everyone who's been enjoying this. We got, another month and a half of it.
And then it's gone forever. And then we'll never talk about Stranger Things ever again.
Yeah, and then I'm quitting.
Yeah.
I'm retiring.
That's true.
I'm gone. You'll never see me again.
He'll be replaced
It's over for me.
An AI of him.
Interesting. You'd love that. You'd love that. A couple more things before we proceed. Number one, the Who Cares You Do merch is still available if you want to get it before Christmas. Thank you to everyone who has been buying those. We really appreciate it. They look nice. We've been responding to all of you on Instagram. You've been tagging us. It's been a lot of fun to see. Someone made the Spider-Man edit. Did you see that?
It's awesome.
Use the audio from Spider-Man 2 where Toby's getting the suitcase out and seeing a suit, but instead it was great. We love to see that. So that was great. You want to show them? I think we mentioned this before. We've definitely mentioned it on the Patreon. This is Cookie Dough Bites. It is our favorite movie candy to eat. We are on boxes now. They're going to be coming out in a couple different places, I believe, and we didn't think this was going to be a thing until next year, but apparently they are already on the assembly line. I got a video of it. It's pretty cool, and they should be in Walmarts, I believe. So keep an eye out for those. They're really great. Cookie Dough Bites are our favorite.
Yeah.
They're gas.
When they sent us that email, we were freaked out. Yeah.
We were hype. So apparently they are already being printed, packaged. So it still might take like a week or two to like get on the shelves from inventory and stuff like that. But we're very excited. Go check out Cookie Dough Bites. We appreciate them for that. And they're our favorites. So send us pictures if you find them. That'd be freaking sick. A little scavenger hunt for you guys.
Yeah.
Last thing on the Patreon, some people were asking for our reactions to the Stranger Things stuff.
You filmed all 4 hours.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm going to post all 4 hours, but I'll try and edit something and throw that up for the patrons because I posted a clip. Yeah. Just like 5 seconds of it on TikTok. It's got like 200,000 views of us reacting to the last episode. So if you want to see our reactions, and it's us in a room of like 12 people.
Yeah.
So it's Dylan, Zach, me, my mom's in there, Brandon Kiyoshi's there, my friend Zach, Peter. They're all in there, and we're all reacting. So we'll post some of those clips on the Patreon, so go check that out.
Yeah. Well,
thanks, guys. Sorry
on to
for
the rest of the episode. Love you.
Enjoy it.
But yeah, also belated happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I think we're posting this episode a tad early. And,
So this you will not be getting one Monday because we're posting this one now. Okay, so let's just get into Stranger Things season 5. We'll do spoiler free for a few minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I don't think we should do a score. We usually save our scores for a full season unless you have a score prepared.
That's fine with me.
What did you think of the first 4 episodes of season 5 of Stranger Things?
Overall, I mean, I'm so happy. It's so peak. Is it perfect? No. There's like an episode and a half that was like, where are we going? Like, come on.
Sure.
But then other than that, I mean, it's just so fun. It's so good. I'm so happy, after waiting for 3 years. I think the way I view it, episode 1 is great. Yeah. I love episode 1. Episode 2 is pretty meh.
Yeah.
It's just kind of there. half of episode 3 was kind of like that too, but then you get the Home Alone type stuff and it starts picking up, and then obviously episode 4 is one of the best episodes in the show.
Wow, high praise.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I feel about the 4. So I'm very happy. I refer to it as peak. I think it's peak. What about you?
So it's so interesting because I've watched now the first 4 seasons of Stranger Things in preparation for this moment, and yet I was sitting there watching with our whole group, and I did feel tremendously unprepared. I do feel, it is kind of a weird thing, I do feel like one of those people that got into the MCU too late, and then I'm in theaters for Endgame, and it just kind of means a little bit less to me than everybody else. I didn't wait for 3 years for this moment. You know what I'm saying? I didn't wait for the 3 years between season 3 and season 4. So I really, really enjoyed the first 4 episodes. I have clear things I loved. I have clear, like you, things that I didn't love. I do definitely feel the thing that you are feeling where I'm like, where are we going a little bit?
Yeah.
You know, I loved a lot of the stuff in episode 4. Obviously, we were going nuts.
Yeah.
Some of those moments were awesome. But I do feel overall, I think these 4 episodes, I think, meant less to me than they meant to you.
Well, sure.
And the rest. And I'm not saying it's bad. That's just a personal, like, we watched it with a group of like 15 people, and there were some people that it clearly meant more. And so that was my big takeaway was maybe I wish I got into this a little bit earlier, because I have loved the show.
But it was a kid's show, so you shouldn't have watched it.
Yeah, exactly. But so
I wonder if anyone, that was like episode 3.
Yeah,
like,
I think it's episode 1 or 2,
to
be honest. But yeah, no. So like this isn't a negative at all. I was just like, I think that everybody, I think it meant a lot more to everybody else. Not saying the episodes are bad, because I've got a lot of great things to say. But that's none of the spoilers. What else can we say that's not spoiler?
Not a lot. Not a lot. I was thinking about
all of my notes are spoilers.
Yeah, no, I was saying the same thing.
This isn't a spoiler. It's not a negative. I found the kids' ages that was distracting for me for the first time in the show. I didn't even really feel it was distracting in season 4, because I think I said to you, as they did it with season 3 and season 4, they aged up, but they had like kids that their side plots were aging up with them. Like Will was a little bit younger than everybody else, so he still wanted to play D&D, but the boys are talking about girls. Like that made their aging up a little bit easier for me. For this, I'm seeing Dustin, and he's getting bullied in a high school, and I'm like, well, this isn't a high school student. This is a 22-year-old. You know what I'm saying? So that a little bit, and I will talk about it in spoilers. There was one character particularly that I found their age especially distracting. Not a huge negative or anything like that. I would never take a point away from the season, but this was the first time where I absolutely noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's not spoilery.
No, and you can see that in the trailers.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
You see them in the interviews. They're clearly adults that are married and have children.
Again, no, I'm not bothered. It's not a negative or anything, but it is something.
No, yeah, sure. I think it bothers me for like the first time I see them on screen.
Yeah.
When they first show up, I'm like, okay, they look like that, and then 5 seconds later, it's baked into the cake, and we're moving on.
Sure,
you know
sure,
what I mean?
sure,
That's how I feel about it.
Sure.
I think we just go for it.
All right, here's your spoiler warning for season 5. The first 4 episodes of season 5 of Stranger Things. I do want to make this clear. We're not going to do like okay, here's spoilers for episode 1. Here's spoilers for episode 2.
No.
We might start with spoilers from episode 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen all of them, click away, watch them, and then come back here, because we're going to go all into it, okay? You ready?
Yes. Okay, here's the thing. I would like to do the negatives first, so we can get those out of the way. And
Sure.
And then I want to just have fun after that.
Sure, I don't have many negatives.
Okay. Would you like to go first?
No, what are your negatives?
Okay, like I said, I think episode 2 of season 5 of Stranger Things is the weakest of the 4.
Sure.
I think it's mainly a writing, pacing, exposition problem. There was a lot of telling, not showing.
Sure.
And some of that is fine with Stranger Things, because a lot of the plot is the characters kind of figuring things out and talking it through and coming up with plans on how to fix it.
Yeah.
So some of that is fine. I just felt like there was an overwhelming amount of that in episode 2.
But is it episode 2 when they go to the Wheeler mom and figure out that Mr. What's-It is Henry? Is that episode 2 or episode 3?
I thought it was 3.
Okay, because it is tough when you watch it all together because they do all blend together.
Episode 2 starts obviously
with the Wheelers being attacked, which is awesome. Great scene.
Great scene. And then after that, I just remember it being like, now we're kind of, Hopper and Eleven are in the Upside Down kind of talking, being mean to each other. And, you know, the kids are trying to figure out where Holly is, but we're not making any progress.
The number one highlight of the first 4 episodes for me is the mystery of Mr. What's-It. Mm-hmm. And I do feel like that's an episode 2 thing. So I don't agree with you quite that way because my favorite thing in all 4 of the episodes is pretty much that shot of Holly Wheeler talking and then you see a hand that she's clearly talking to somebody, but then it cuts and she's clearly talking to nobody. Yeah. That's the highlight of the first 4 episodes for me, period. And I do feel like that was episode 2. So maybe that episode 3 and it bleeds into episode 3 or whatever.
That scene is not.
That scene is what, episode 1?
Yes, because I saw that at the premiere.
All right, so never mind. But the whole, essentially the early conspiracy of Mr. What's-It, I'm not exactly thrilled with the way we resolve it and how early we resolve it. But the early episodes, whatever, that's my favorite thing. So that's all I'm disagreeing with you about is episode 2. Because there was exposition about Mr. What's-It, but I loved it. Every time I loved it.
Yeah, sometimes. I just remember there being a lot of scenes between whether it was Hopper and Elle or Mike and Nancy or Steve and Dustin, where it was like, it was just, I feel like they're trying to get us to the next thing. And the dialogue could be tighter and more interesting. Speaking of dialogue in general, the dialogue in season 5, I just feel like is sometimes not as good as other seasons.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, I think it wasn't bad, especially in some episodes, but I feel like in episode 2 and 3, I think the worst line in the show is, Lucas, I'll soften it. Like, I don't know if that was supposed to be funny.
Oh, I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was
terrible. It was so awkward. What does Mike say right before? I think it's...
The dick is hard.
The dick is too hard. And then he goes, well, I'll soften it.
That's hilarious.
Lucas also had the line during the Home Alone bit where he's like throwing the water balloons at him. And he goes, catch this. And it's like, are we trying to be like weird
I took
action
that
80s?
as a fun homage to Home Alone because Kevin McAllister says shit like that all the time.
I'm sure that's what it was, but it was still kind of just like they're what are they doing to my poor boy Lucas? So I think that was another one of my negatives. It wasn't enough to not make me like the show, obviously. Sure. Question.
Yeah.
Do you have any more negatives?
Yeah, I've got a couple.
Okay, go.
No, what's
you
the
go.
question?
You go.
Holly Wheeler is too old.
Yeah.
She is too old. When I heard that she is in canon 7 years old, I almost vomited. That's where you've gone too far. That's it. Like, that was the one that I was talking about where I was like, the age, it's too much.
Yeah,
of
course.
So that one, that's like, you haven't lost me on that front, but that is a front that I may never be able to get over.
There's still a tag on your hat, and it's like...
I know. I left it on because I'm saving it for a bit later. This is an NFL Stranger Things hat. Very odd that this exists, but the tag is the key.
All right.
I am not a huge fan of how we are using Max in this season. I think that the reveal of her is super fun and everything like that, but kind of what you were explaining with the exposition, it is just an exposition dump with her and Holly, and I do think, like, I don't know Holly as a character. I'm not familiar with her. She's barely in the show up until this point, so I don't really have an emotional connection to her. And so to take away easily one of my favorite characters, who's Max, and completely separate her from all the people I love, and now she is just expo dumping to this person that I have no connection to, is tough, especially when I compare it to, let's say, like season 4. You have Chrissy, a character I've never met before, and Eddie, a character I've never met before, and you endear me to them both so much in that scene in the woods, where it's like, I just wish I liked... Like, I think this show is capable of making me love new characters instantly.
Yeah.
Like their introduction to Murray in season 2 and some other characters. And I don't feel that way at all for Holly Wheeler. And I'm upset that you've taken Max away from the greater group. The scene where Lucas is playing her the music and she's about to get out is by far her best scene in season 5 so far, because it's the closest thing we've had to her connecting back to Lucas and the greater character group. So that's something I'm missing a bit because Max is one of my favorite characters. So I'm not a huge fan that she's been separated. But that's been a complaint for me in most of the show so far. Big complaint. Probably my biggest complaint is Dustin. Through the first 2 episodes, I think he has gotten better towards the later 2. I like him now that they're in the Upside Down and he's not being a D-bag, but I am having trouble understanding his motivation at all. I think that the 3 other boys...
I disagree real hard.
No, the 3 other boys are completely right. He is.
It doesn't matter. That's the point. That's the point. He watched Eddie die. He doesn't give an F right now. Like, that's his version of depression. That's his version of coping.
Yes, sure.
And you don't have to like it. I understand. He's way more annoying.
I don't like it. Right. Exactly, sure.
He's way more annoying. We've watched Dustin be the comedic, hilarious.
Like he's the sweetie pie of the show.
Right, and we've gotten that for 4 seasons, so to flip that on its head in season 5 is going to piss some people off, and you don't have to like I totally understand that.
Yeah.
For me, that was actually one of my questions in the negatives category, because that's a negative for a lot of people. I understand that. Yeah. I love it.
Fascinating. But he's just like the snake in the locker. What the fuck are you doing, man?
Yeah, that's what I like. That's the point. Like, he doesn't care that he gets beat up. Like, he knows that's going to happen. Like, when you're so depressed and you're so affected by like a trauma in your life where you're like, you don't care if you nuke your own life, that's interesting to me. And it makes perfect sense. They're not doing that.
No, I'm not saying it's out of left field. I'm just disagreeing. And
it doesn't make any sense. Someone in the Discord literally said, I don't understand his motivations at all. And I was literally like, that's the point. His motivation is he does not give an F right now.
Yeah, sure.
And I find that really interesting for his character.
Sure.
But I do also like that after 2 episodes, once he's back and he's with the group, he's kind of a little bit more back to being Dustin.
Yeah.
It's really just episode 1 and part of episode 2 where he's like that. But I liked the reversal to kind of give us another side of Dustin to show him that, like, hey, he can be affected by all this crazy stuff that's going on.
Well, this is interesting that we're talking about this because there's one major character change that I haven't liked, which is Dustin, and then there's one major character change that we will get to in the positives that I have loved.
Okay, we'll get to it. Where
a character has changed a lot in their motivation and I think you know who I'm talking about, and I loved every second of that, and I'm sure you loved it too. We will get to that. I'm trying to think if I have any more major negatives. So this is a positive about a negative, not unlike our segment, positives about negatives. So I mentioned that the kids' growth is a little distracting, but I like that they've offset it with genuine children being a part of the show and part of the plot.
It's still in
that
there.
We have reintroduced. Oh no, the kids. There are kids. Derek is incredible. We'll talk about Derek in positives, but Derek is great. But the fact that we have like children are an integral part of the plot now that our children are no longer children, I really like that choice.
Yeah.
To build off of that negative.
Yeah.
CGI Will isn't great in the first 5 minutes. Yeah. It's a tad wonky in some spots, but there are some spots where it looks great. When he's running and he's kind of at a distance and you see him only from his side profile, that looks excellent. He looks exactly like season 1 Will. So that's good. And then I really like that they didn't CGI them for the memory.
Yeah, it's just different kids.
That's just different actors.
Yeah.
That's great. So that looks really good. I don't have anything for you else. I have nothing but positives left.
Yeah. My last one is kind of piggybacking off the Dustin thing. We get Dustin and Steve's relationship, which is obviously very, very different. I think that's going to be resolved, and I think it's leading to great resolve, and I think that's going to be great. My negative isn't really about the relationship because, again, I think that's just part of friendships, and they're showing us a different side of it, and it's not as entertaining. It's not as wholesome. But I think it will lead to something in part 2 or the finale where they come together or someone gets sacrificed or something, and it's really, really nice. So they're setting that up. I think that's all fine. I think Steve has been kind of annoying. And I think Hopper can fall into that category too. Steve is annoying in relation to Dustin, but Dustin is also being annoying. Dustin's being a douchebag, and Steve is kind of being one back. That's fine. That makes a little bit more sense. But it bleeds over. Steve is being a douchebag to everybody. And it's fine with Jonathan because Jonathan and Steve both kind of make good points against each other in relation to Nancy. I like that scene. But like once we get to the Upside Down and some other things in terms of like planning, Steve is just complaining. Steve is just taking everyone's plan and like putting holes in it and complaining. He's not being helpful. I think he was kind of annoying. Hopper, in the same vein, I believe. Again, he's being super protective of Elle. I understand the motivations for it, but there's a difference between like doing the time thing and not wanting her to go on the crawl, and then like kind of the way he treats her in the Upside Down, where he's like, "You're acting on emotion. You're literally like an idiot." It's like, okay, you can want to protect her, but you don't have to be like, she was coming after Holly. Like, what else was she supposed to do? Like, I think both of them were being Steve a little bit more. Thoughts?
Now that you say it, it's not so much an annoying thing, but it did bother me how many season 1 Sarah flashbacks we got in these first 4 episodes.
Okay.
It happens like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
We've done that now like 6 times in the entire show.
That one shot of the wife putting her head and him being like, we've seen that so
several times. And it's but the thing is you did it once in season 1. And then you did it maybe once again in season 2 when he's explaining Sarah for the first time to Eleven. And then you don't do it in season 3 and maybe you do it once in season 4. You did it like twice or 3 times in season 5. We've seen this.
Yeah.
If I'm watching all the way into season 5, you do not need to show me the same shots again. So that was a negative that I had forgotten about.
I agree.
But while I was watching, I was like, oh, this is... So,
and it just didn't hit as emotional, obviously, because we've seen it so many times, but also because of the writing and the dialogue not being necessarily as strong. Like season 4, I don't know if we get a flash, but we do get that monologue from Hopper in the prison, and I think that was way more compelling than anything.
And guess what? No flashback needed.
Right, exactly.
Like, and you didn't show them inhaling the thing that would make their kids dead, and then you didn't show any of the other people losing their kids, and you didn't show us Sarah again because we get it.
Yeah.
Now, adding that wrinkle with that story was brilliant. Yeah. That was great. I want to piggyback off of your Steve thing because I think you might find this interesting. I didn't find Steve annoying at all in season 5 so far, but I think it's got to do with, I think you like Steve a lot more than me, and I think the general public likes Steve a lot more than me. Leia, one of our best guests ever, is like, Steve Harrington's the greatest character ever. She's screaming, crying when she wins the signed Funko from you at your event. By the way, watch that video. It's a hell of a video. It's 48 minutes. I'm in it the whole time. He's in it the whole time. If you like this long form podcast, go watch that with fellow YouTube.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
But like, so you have, like, I know there are people that are like rabid for Steve. I'm not rabid for Steve. I liked him a lot in season 1. My favorite Steve is season 2 with him and Dustin for the first time. And I've kind of felt he's fine for the rest of... I much prefer Lucas and Mike and Eleven and like a bunch of other characters when people are constantly saying Steve is one of their favorite characters. So maybe he is acting out of character and annoying people that like love him, or maybe not. Maybe there are some people that are just going to love him no matter what. But I liked Murray in season 4 more than Steve. Like, yeah, like Steve has become not my favorite character the last 2 or 3 seasons. So I didn't care. Somebody like Robin, who is amazing in season 5 so far. Like, I'm much more interested in her. When she announces that she's got the date, I'm like, let's fucking go. I don't give a fuck. Steve is still after Nancy. She doesn't like you, bro. She does not like you.
Oh, we didn't watch season 4. Clearly likes him.
She does not like him. I'm glad that Jonathan's going to propose.
I saw that. I felt like that was so unearned. I was like, everything we've seen about your relationship for the last season and a half has been y'all not working, by the way.
Yeah, but that's because it's gonna work at the end.
Steve is literally giving you relationship advice. Like,
it doesn't matter.
You're so insecure in your relationship that you're climbing to the top of a tower to try and impress her. Like, that's not someone you should be proposing to.
Were you annoyed by that scene? I've seen a lot of people on the internet saying that scene made them cringe.
It's a little cringy, but I think it's the start of the episode. It's the start of the season. The whole first episode has a lot of levity to it. That's right after Robin is doing her whole exposition recap thing on the radio station.
On the squawk.
I thought it was very Stranger Thingsy, and I kind of liked it.
So the reason I don't feel that it was cringe or anything like that, the reason that I wasn't bothered by it is, I think every season opener starts with something that's very low stakes.
Yeah.
And then when the stakes are introduced, everybody kind of comes together and locks in.
Yeah.
But think about Hopper threatening Mike at the start of season 3.
Exactly.
You always, Angela never comes back in season 4, but that's higher stakes because she is the worst ever.
The worst.
But every season, in season 2, it's who beat them on Dug Dug or whatever. Or
Dig Dug.
Dig Dug, right? That's who's Mad Max, right? There's always lower stakes at the start. That didn't bother me.
Yeah, no, I think that's great.
I'm ready to just go
let's do
positives here.
Okay.
Do we want to start with our biggest positives, our least big positives? What do you want to do?
I just kind of have a list. They're not in any particular order.
Can we start with probably my biggest positive of the show? The squawk is awesome.
The squawk is awesome.
That is the most Stranger Things thing they've done in probably 3 or 4 seasons. Like, that is so season 1.
Remember?
And it is so good.
I came out of the premiere, and when I talked about the first episode, I said it's a lot of exposition in episode 1. I said it's a lot of exposition. They're setting a lot of things up.
Yeah.
Hawkins is quarantined.
Yeah.
But it keeps a lot of the Stranger Things-y feel.
Yeah.
And that was kind of what I was referring to, like the squawk, the little code messages they were sending, the crawl, all of them doing different things. That's why I like episode 1 so much. So yes, I think the scene where they were starting to do the code thing.
It's the best.
In the theater, I was like, freaking yeah.
It's the best.
That got a reaction out of me. And then, the Robin date thing got a reaction out of me.
Well, I screamed. I was like, Robin's getting some pussy! Let's go. And when they showed it was the girl that she had a crush on from
Vicky,
season 1.
baby. Yeah.
I was so pumped.
Yeah.
Another highlight for me, the world building. Makes perfect sense that Hawkins would be quarantined. Makes perfect sense. Max Z, the Big Mac, all that stuff. All that makes perfect sense. But then also the way Hawkins has addressed it is also excellent. Them sledding on it.
Very lived in.
And then the army is coming in to kick him out. That's awesome.
And also,
awesome.
The first episode of season 5 of Stranger Things, obviously they have to, it's been, they said 500 days or something. A lot has happened. Hawkins is very different right now. How are they going to explain all that? They do it as everyone is bicycling to school or going to work, and Robin and Steve are doing a radio station show in the 80s, recapping everything that's happening and explaining the world we're living in. What a great way to kind of introduce the season. I thought it was super creative.
I loved the squawk and everything they did with the squawk and how they had secret tunnels connected. It just, every squawk related thing was awesome.
Hence all the merchandise that we kept being
exactly, which made perfect sense. I forgot a huge negative. I'm so sorry. We got to go back.
Oh, unbelievable.
Real quick, but I think you'll agree with me.
Unbelievable.
Dr. K is not Dr. Brenner. She just doesn't have the presence or anything. It's not a huge negative, and it doesn't bring the show down or anything. But Brenner is such an unbelievable antagonist. Legitimately, in my opinion, one of the best antagonists we've gotten in the 2010s. He is so awful, but he's so charismatic. I hate him so much. He's one of the characters like Umbridge. But Umbridge is so incredible at being awful in the same way that Brenner is.
Yeah.
And Dr. K, I think, is going for that. And I'm just feeling she's falling flat in every way.
I wouldn't say every way, but I think she's good. But obviously, no, she doesn't reach Brenner level.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So sorry about that.
So the first episode positives is kind of what I was talking about. I think the first episode is really great. Okay.
What'd you think of the humor in season 5 so far?
Derek had me laughing a little bit every once in a while.
Yep, Derek's very funny.
There's another moment that I'm not going to get to yet that made a lot of people laugh. We'll get to that.
Is that what I have written down?
Go ahead.
My response was they've still got it with the humor. This season was making me laugh consistently, and the kid in the hole looking at the snitch and then coming down is maybe the best joke in the entire show.
Yeah, it's already been memed.
It is. It's so funny.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
What a ridiculous...
My eyes are watering thinking about
situation.
But the cut of the water and them fixing the pipes and the this and the this and the...
And then... Boop.
Hilarious. Yeah. Hilarious. The direction on that. One of the best jokes of the year by far in media. Hilarious. Derek is fucking hilarious.
Also, Derek calling out that girl for snitching was really funny.
Hilarious.
And they do a good job sometimes of having characters that are you don't know whether you want to pull for them or not, and then they kind of like Steve, I guess, where you're a little wonky on him or whatever. But then it takes you an episode and a half, and then everyone's on Derek's side. You know?
No, I mean Derek the delightful, hilarious, all of that, and then So Erica has progressed very much from it. So season 3, I don't really like her at all. She has one joke in season 3 that I think is hilarious, but otherwise I didn't really like her in season 3. Season 4, I liked her a lot more. Like she was actually helpful. She wasn't annoying. I didn't feel she was annoying, and I felt a lot of the stuff was earned. And something I forgot to mention in our season 4 review is that season 4, episode 1, Hellfire Club, is one of my favorite episodes of the entire show. The scene with Lucas hitting the game winner and them hitting the D20 intercut with each other and then celebrating after, that's one of the best scenes in all of Stranger Things. That is so good. So just want to highlight that. So I really liked Erica in season 4. I have loved her in season 5 so far. I found her so likable, so funny. And when you should have eaten the pie and fucking like that's hilarious. Needle shot was hilarious. So I found season 5 very funny so far.
I think.
What do you think?
I think I've been pretty consistent.
Okay.
With my hatred for Erica.
Sure.
I did a bracket on a live stream once in which I berated Erica for being annoying because she is and she's awful.
Okay.
I've said that on the podcast multiple times. I interviewed some people at the event and I'm making a video out of that, and I asked them their worst character, and multiple people said Erica. Good for them. I have a list of positives here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 10 positives listed. There's one that just says Erica.
Nice.
I think she was great this season.
She's been great so far.
She still has some of her annoyingness. I think the scene in the hallway where she's
just being unhelpful.
You're just being unhelpful. You're just being rude to everyone yet again.
By the way, she's been a part of this now for 3 seasons.
You should know the world is ending.
Correct.
Like, what are you doing?
I love that she likes Mr. Clark's class, though.
Yes.
Oh,
that was great.
So good.
That was great. And then obviously, yes, the pie thing was great. And this is the first time she made me laugh ever.
What'd she do to make you laugh? The needle shot?
The needle thing.
It's so funny.
That was great.
So funny.
Just give me that. Erica's great.
Yep.
I'll rock with that, Erica.
Yep.
Okay. I think I got a positive. I think the acting has been fantastic in season 5 of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
2 people specifically I want to highlight.
Yeah, I agree with you on one of them completely.
Are we about to have a clink moment?
Maybe. You can say the one that you don't believe and then do the one that you think is probably
okay. I was going to say Noah. I think Noah's been great.
That's the person we agree on.
Okay, great.
He's the best actor in the cast.
I keep being reminded how good he is. Like,
he's the best actor in the cast.
Season 1, he's not in a lot.
Yep.
Season 2, he obviously freaking nails.
He's unbelievable in season 2.
And I thought that was going to be his best season of the show, but now it might be season 5. He's so good. Everything with Robin, every time something crazy is happening, every time he's being possessed, he's having to paint something. When he aura farms at the end, like freaking Noah's killing it, dude.
A great reminder for that was when Vecna's like, "You're weak as fuck, by the way. You suck, and you're the reason why I'm a predator now." You get flashbacks to all of Will's lowest moments throughout each season, and I'm like, no, he is shitting on everybody in these scenes. Like, I'm looking and I'm like, when is Millie this good? And it's like, oh, when is Finn Wolfhard this good? Like,
well, everyone's great.
They're all great.
They're all great.
But God, Noah Schnapp is unbelievable.
He's very talented. The other one I did want to highlight because she was the only one where I was like, oh, she's doing good in the scene. I think Sadie did a really good job.
Sure.
She didn't have a lot to work with. She's just...
Yeah.
But I found there was a lot of exposition from her, and I just found it slightly more interesting because I think seeing her in season 5 made me more excited to see her in Spider-Man, because I think this is the first... Obviously, she's been great in all the seasons, but for some reason, I thought Sadie did a really good job. So yeah, I think the acting's been great.
Speaking of, did you hear the thing that Sadie Sink said in a recent interview about Spider-Man?
Mm-mm.
A lot of people are asking about who she's going to play. Nobody knows. And she literally said, a lot of people forget that hair color can change. Yup. Isn't that wild?
There's no reason she would say that.
I know.
Unless.
Isn't that wild? So that was interesting. I want to talk about something that is a unique experience. Didn't grow up watching this show. I haven't watched this show for 9 years. I know Millie Bobby Brown a lot more as the personality that she is over 11. She is distractingly hot in season 5. Sorry, don't feel bad about it.
Really?
She is a wife and she is a child. I don't feel bad, not one bit. I don't care if she's playing a 15-year-old. She's obviously not 15. Millie Bobby Brown is one of the hottest people in the world, and she is...
Well, did you see the Christmas video?
No.
Where she's wearing like the Christmas outfit?
Yes, I have, actually, yes. She is distractingly
I'll
hot.
agree with you in that video.
She is distractingly
she's
hot
very pretty. She's very pretty.
In season 5 of Stranger Things for me.
Really?
Yeah. Like, there are scenes where she's like looking at the camera, and I'm like, she's so hot.
I didn't get that once.
Sorry.
Not saying she's not
But it may be because the psychology of you growing up with the show, and
Probably.
so you've seen her since she was 8. Like when I watched season 1, I wasn't thinking, oh, this is...
Millie Bobby Brown
Because
that I know.
it's the same thing with Leon the Professional, one of my favorite movies of all time. I knew Natalie Portman as Padme before she was 13 in that movie.
Yeah.
I'm obviously not thinking she's hot in that, but it doesn't mean I can't think Natalie Portman is hot.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Millie Bobby Brown is wildly hot. And she's very hot in season 5. So that's something I wanted to add. That I imagine is a
That's
very
your
unique...
being distracted by
Who were you distracted by?
No, I mean, I wasn't distracted by anyone in Stranger Things except
okay.
maybe Karen.
Yeah.
Karen's bad.
So bad.
And what she does is freaking
Awesome.
sick.
Stabbing
Dude.
wine bottle.
Dude, shout out Karen, bro.
So good.
Dude, she got a lot of licks in that. Demogorgon was just like, I think he was surprised. This mom is stabbing me with a wine bottle, dude.
Where are the Demogorgon's eyes?
Yeah, they keep saying Will seeing from the Demogorgon's point of view. Homie doesn't have eyes. You just got teeth.
And they've made a change to the Demogorgons that I do not like. You given them jaws. We now see their jaws. And they don't close their face like they used to. The whole thing in season 1 is it's a person but without a face. Because that's what they look like when they're all like a vagina. They're all closed up, right?
That's what kind of vaginas have you been looking at?
But yeah, that's a good question. But throughout this season, when their face isn't flowered, it's like kind of like this. It's like kind of open rather than this. It's a change. I'm not saying it's a negative. I'm just saying it's an interesting lore change. Another thing. Can we power scale the Demogorgons properly? All right, a Demogorgon.
I agree.
A Demogorgon is seriously injured from being stabbed by a wine bottle, but you've got 1,000,000 machine guns shooting at a Demogorgon, and it's like still chilling.
Right. So like this Demogorgon can be stabbed with a wine bottle by a mother who's like drunk.
Yes.
And bleeds so much that 11 can track it through the upside down.
But it's constantly like, it's really hurt. It's slowing down.
But then, an entire battalion of an army with machine guns and like anti-air like tank guns basically, and they're just fine.
Yeah.
I hate when things are just randomly bulletproof. I hate it. Hopper killed it with a sword last season.
Exactly. The Demogorgons should not be this strong. It should be more of a battle droids thing where you have a lot of them and that's the problem. One Demogorgon should not be taking out like 20 highly skilled and trained army guys with machine guns.
Yes, I agree.
Based on what you've done with them so far. Like they shouldn't get this buff that they've seemed to have gotten.
Yes. I'm saving this one.
I've got one I don't need to save. That's kind of what we were just talking about.
Okay, I've got 2. Go ahead.
How do you feel about the new Vecna design?
He's snatched.
Yeah.
He went on some Ozempic. I like it. Yeah. He is Ultron in the face.
He does look like Ultron.
He's Ultron.
Because he's got these things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he does a Grogu impression. He stops like the flamethrower.
That's right. He does do that.
Vecna Ultron Grogu.
Yep.
Is what we got basically.
Yep.
I like it.
I think the Vecna
Do you think it's
design,
better?
I do think the Vecna design is much improved.
I think it's better.
Like the Darth Maul form, right? But then this is something I want to mention. I think all of his forms are very good in this season so far. I think they used his orderly form in a very fun way. Hello, Max. And then he's chasing her, and then he's just got the arm.
Yeah, I like that.
So he's the orderly outfit with the blood on him, but he's got the awesome arm. That's awesome. That's almost exactly what I asked for last season. Because I said the arm is really cool, and I think his orderly form is really striking. So I thought that was a lot of fun. And I think Mr. What's-It is very unsettling. I think it's great. I think the hat and the glasses and this actor, Jamie
Lee Campbell.
Yeah. He is so hot, but he's got such a talent at being the most creepy guy ever. He's just so good, but he's also good with the kids. It's great. He's excellent.
Yeah. The Vecna design is great. He also becomes Groot for a second. He's stabbing people with like a tree branch arm.
Absolutely. And then he stabs that guy through the eyeballs.
Dude,
do you think that's what they were talking about when they were like, this is the most brutal kill we've ever done?
It's gotta be.
That was it. And it was awesome.
Are they going to do it? Yeah, it was awesome. The reaction was so much fun.
Is that one of the reactions you posted?
I posted like 3 of the house.
Yeah.
And it's the first one, I think. Yeah. First or second.
Because you see me in the corner and I'm like this, and you just see me because everybody else reacts big, but I just go like, it's so funny.
Let's see.
In one of them, I think that's the one where it is. You just see my eyes just widen.
Yeah, the second one right here.
Yeah. I'm off screen right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I just go. I zoomed in on it, and you just see me go.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, so Vecna is like a pedophile, or like what's going on?
Yeah, what
he's
are we
very
doing?
Michael Jackson-y, like Epstein Island vibes. What's going on?
What kind of religious thing we're doing? Because it's 12 apostles, right? It's
Yeah,
gonna be something religious.
and it's the Matrix. They're like literally in stuff with things in imaginary world.
Well,
we'll
we
get
always
to that.
say the Duffer Brothers really wear their inspirations off their sleeve on their sleeve.
Yeah.
One of these episodes, the thing is just Home Alone, which is great, but it is just Home Alone. It is the Duffer Brothers have been doing this since season 1. Every single season, there's multiple things that it's just like, now we're doing Terminator. You know, which I'm not complaining about. I've loved a lot of that, so I'm interested to see what the other things we're doing is. But it's been fun.
Yeah, so another one of my positives was the Home Alone sequence. Very Stranger Things, obviously, Home Alone inspired. I didn't like Lucas's catch this line, but whatever. The swinging nail thing, the barbed wire, Mike being the goat yet again, Nancy walking down Wheeler, all of them working together. I thought it was great. Also, if we're hurting that Demogorgon, but machine guns again, another power scaling thing. When the Demogorgon almost fell, I was like, Mike needs to footstool it. He just needs to like hop on it real quick. Smash reference. But Mike was going toe to toe with it with a shovel for a second. Like
shovel with barbed wire, but shovel nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So I really liked that sequence. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin was like John Wick for a second with his bullies.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So was Will in the Upside Down against the first Demogorgon.
Yeah. Shot the jump sequence. But yeah, Dustin, this is another reference to him just like not giving an F. Because like these characters are obviously more grown up. Physically, you could just see it. But like season 1, they're getting called frog face. Dustin's being asked to do his like weird arm thing. And then in this season, Dustin he's wearing this no matter what. The first shot of Lucas in the season, everyone went, oh, because he was like telling he's going to kick these guys in the balls, basically. Mike was standing up to him. They're all grown up. But Dustin standing on business, even after they killed the snake, even after he was surrounded, he's literally like talking crap to these people. He's hitting them with the liquid, and then I thought that was really cool. Obviously, he got effed up because there was 4 of them, but shout out Dustin for going fisticuffs with 4 people.
You mentioned in that little tirade one of the highlights of Stranger Things as a whole for me. Walk 'em down Wheeler.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best.
It's the best nickname.
It's the best nickname ever, and it is when she walks into that house where her mother and her sister's been taken, her mother and father are near death, and she's just loaded, and somebody shouted, "Walk 'em down Wheeler." That was the highlight of my night. And her later in the episode, she's like, "Murray, your nuts are tiny." Right? That scene, awesome. So awesome. I love her so much. She's one of my 5 favorite characters. I love her so much.
I want more of that duo. 11 and Nancy walk into that house.
Well, and then when she goes,
up, dude. I love them.
She goes, "Go." And 11's like, "Yeah, all right, here's my time.
Yeah,
I'm locking in."
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was fucking awesome.
Mike always has been and continues to be the GOAT.
Yeah, Mike's having a great run this season. He's really. I didn't think he did a lot in season 4, but season 5 they've really brought him back to life.
He's one of, if not, he's not my favorite character, but he's one of them.
Yeah, no, of course, me too.
Here are some of the positives, some of the highlights.
Yeah.
During the final battle, he is the one leading the kids around. He is the one getting them out.
Yep.
He is not scared. He is locked in.
You're right. He's so awesome in that scene.
And multiple times he says, "Kids, eyes on me. You're going to keep your eyes on me. We're going to go this way. We're going to stay. We're going to stay locked in. We're going to be in a line. Follow me right now, and then go."
Yep.
Who else is going to do that?
Awesome.
Dustin? No. I'm sorry.
By the way, fully grown adult Joyce is with them in this scene, and he's leading the way.
Awesome.
My goat.
Another great scene.
Yep.
People, I have on this podcast. And like I've said before, I always want to debunk the claim that he is a bad friend or a bad boyfriend. I don't think he's ever been that. And if he is, I don't think he's been any more of a bad friend than any other character in the show. I think anything he has done, you can find examples of other characters doing exactly the same. I think he's a great friend to Will in season 2. I think he's a great boyfriend to Eleven. Overall, I think he's a great character. He argues with Max in season 3, but that's still to try and protect Elle. There's not yet another scene of him being relationally great to someone else, and it is the scene with Holly in the hallway.
I completely agree. Although I did say when that scene was happening, I was like, this is going to age about as well as Bob's speech to Will.
Right.
But he doesn't know.
No. But he does figure it out that it wasn't a coincidence and she's not lying, that he was real. But I just can't think of another character that would, maybe Hopper or someone that would like give such a heartwarming, caring speech to a younger sibling or something like that. Like, he took the time to sit down. He had a little figurine for her. He had a name for her. He wanted to like introduce her to like the D&D lore, basically. He was trying to encourage her. He was very sweet. Mike is great. And yeah, he's been the man figuring stuff out. He figured out Mr. What's-It. I think he's been great this season.
It's probably going to be Will and Eleven as the two main characters for the rest of the season, I imagine.
And Callie, dude.
I don't think she's going to get that much of a role.
No.
Very interesting.
Yeah, we'll get... Will is the last thing we're probably going to talk
right.
about.
So I'll skip that. Like I said, I wish Max had more to do. That has to do with Will. That has to do with Will as well.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to get
all
to
my
everything.
Will stuff.
Anything non-Will, because I got one more non-Will.
What was the most shocking moment of season 5 so far for you in Stranger Things? Was it the Wheelers being murked?
Well, they weren't.
Not murked, yeah. Well, you can't kill a baddie. That's what I always say.
Yeah, well, then kill
Karen
Ted.
is going to be alive
Kill Ted.
forever.
I think you should have killed one of them. The fact that you, like, cheaped out on killing either of them, I feel is like, you could have set the stage a little bit more for the season if you killed one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Will stuff at the end is pretty freaking awesome.
That is shocking. So again, it goes back to Will.
It always goes back to
Did
Will.
you have a most predictable moment? Was there something that like you clocked early and you were like Zach, who was sitting next to me, clocked that it was going to be Max in the dream area. Mm-hmm. He clocked a lot. He knew that they were going to use the tentacle monster against Hopper.
Yeah.
So he clocked a lot. Was there something like that where you were like, as soon as I pretty early assumed that Mr. What's-It was Henry?
That I knew before the season started.
How'd you know that?
The behind the scenes photos looked like him.
Oh.
So I assumed it was going to be him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I did like the scene where she was riding Henry. That was really
so good.
So good.
So good. All right, so we're on to Will.
I got one more thing.
Okay, let's do it.
The mystery in season 5, the things that they're introducing that are unanswered are very interesting, because I assumed coming into season 5 we had enough. We still don't know what the Upside Down is. We don't know where Vecna is. We don't know his connection to Will. We have all these things that need to be answered, and I thought we were just gonna focus on that. But we're focusing on that, and I assume we're gonna get answers to that. But we're also introducing a whole other wrinkle of kidnapping children and creating a dream world. I did not think we were going to introduce yet another such a huge concept.
Yeah, what the hell's going on over
Right,
there?
yeah. So I thought we had enough.
Yeah.
I thought we had enough that we had to wrap up and figure out instead of... Because like every season introduces something else. The Mind Flayer infecting Will. In season 3, the magnets and the Russians, and in season 4, you've got Vecna and the killing of the people to create the portals. So I was like, in season 5, I didn't really think we were going to do that, but we are, and we're doing it potentially in the biggest way we've ever done it, with kidnapping 12 children to create a dream world while also the military's in the upside down and have Callie locked up. There's just way more being introduced in terms of question marks. We've gotten more question marks than answers so far.
And we're halfway through.
And I just find that surprising. I think it's interesting. It's not a negative. It's just more than I thought. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
That triggered something else I want to talk about, and I forgot what it was. The mystery. Okay. Will's great this season. Robin and Will in season 5 of Stranger Things is potentially the strongest thing. I saw it at the premiere, the introduction of what they were going to do with him seeing Robin, and I thought it was just the perfect way to handle. It's the perfect way because Robin is so great and Will is so great, and Robin is a little bit further along in her journey.
Correct.
And she is the perfect person to help Will with that. And not only help Will with that personally, but it literally helps him like save the world. Yeah, you know. And I loved every single conversation that they had, and I love the message that she gives him that results in him accepting himself. I love that they did that.
Stranger Things, one of the best things they do is their pairings. And they pair characters that you're like, oh, I'm not sure if that would be a good pairing. And it's almost always great. Mm-hmm. There are some that are better than others, but they're almost always great. Robin and Will's pairing is instantly one of the top 5 best pairings we've ever gotten in Stranger Things. It is spectacular. And I want to highlight something about the Robin speech to Will.
Okay.
I am not gay. You are not gay.
Questionable.
Yes, but
no,
in reality, we are not. Zach was sitting next to me, getting a little emotional during that speech. And after that speech was done, he was like, that's exactly how it feels. In the way that they worded a certain thing. I don't want to speak for Zach, but so for Zach, one of my dearest friends, our roommate for over 2 years at this point, for him to have such an emotional reaction to that, on top of us, who we don't have the emotional connection to it, but we're just enjoying it because it's good, fun writing, good writing. But for Zach to have such a visceral reaction to that makes that moment even more special in my head.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed hearing Zach's thoughts on the seasons and Will, because obviously you see it a lot more in season 4. So I talked to Zach about it after season 4, what he liked, what he didn't like, what he wanted to happen, what he didn't want to happen. And I think of all the possibilities, obviously they were leading more to it in season 4, so it was going to be in season 5, of all the possibilities of whether, not addressing it, having him end up with somebody, whatever. I think this was, they couldn't have handled it better, and I love hearing Zach's thoughts on it. On top of that, Robin's speech, obviously the main through line there is his homosexuality and him saving the world with gay, basically. But I also love in the flashbacks that I want to talk to Zach about this, but Will is obviously a gay character, but that's not all he is. You know what I mean?
Of course not.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I think a lot of people kind of just boil him down to like, oh, he's the gay character. Obviously, that's not true.
No, that's not true.
And obviously they're highlighting that a lot, but there's so much more to Will, and I love that in the flashbacks, a lot of them were with Mike, who obviously he has a crush on, and it highlights that. But it doesn't just highlight that; it also highlights other aspects of Will that maybe he also needed to accept. It shows him painting and drawing as a kid. It shows him being dressed up as Will the Wise and doing the D&D thing and nerd thing. These are all things that he's probably been bullied for, as well as being gay. So it was a montage showing him more as a full character, not just being like, oh, this is just all about him being gay. It's about that, but it's also about him being just a person that also has other things about him that also he should learn to accept.
Yep.
And I think that was brilliant. I think that was great.
It was a great scene.
So yeah, Robin and Will was great. Anything else about Will? Because obviously we're going to get to the aura farming.
I have a lot about Will, but this is so obviously season 5 of Stranger Things is overall very good for your anti-Byler agenda.
Of course.
Mike and Will
obviously
being together, you're anti that.
Of course.
And this is good for your agenda because it kind of was like, no, it's okay to have platonic relationships. And it was anti-Byler for a couple of reasons that we don't have to get into or we can. But there is one issue for you. There's one thing that maybe you have overlooked. And you might be in trouble here. Why does Mike like 11? Because if he likes her for her superpowers.
Have you seen the memes?
Will's got superpowers now.
When Will realizes Mike is into girls that are superpowered, and he's just like,
your agenda might be fucked, and that's what attracts him. If he's syndrome, then you're fucked.
Yeah, I'm screwed, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to fall in love with Will next episode.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's going to change his sexuality because Will can make things float now.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. What's his name? Noah created a lot of buzz online when people asked him about Byler, and he's like, I think y'all will be satisfied.
He said that?
He said that before the season came out.
Oh, you're furious.
I wasn't furious because I didn't think it just made a lot of Byler shippers have a lot more false hope than I thought.
The comments on our video last week on YouTube and then also on TikTok when Clippers, we love you Clippers, when it clipped the part where we were talking about Byler and I was so confused because I had never even heard of it before you mentioned it. People were so mad that we weren't giving it a chance.
I mean, I'll always give anything a chance. I will listen to what they have to say. You can ship whatever you want.
But there are people that are DMing me that's like, you have to watch this 8 hours of YouTube content.
Yeah, you got to watch the lawyer breakdown. You got to watch the psychologist breakdown. I haven't watched those in its entirety, but I have live streamed and people have commented, and I have I'm
just so surprised. This is like the strongest bit of the Stranger Things community.
Yeah, it's very shocking to me.
So odd.
Every example I've ever seen is like, I think it's ridiculous, but whatever. I am not here to argue with people about that. But yeah, Noah was asked in an interview about Byler, and he basically said, I think y'all will be satisfied. And everyone took that to mean that obviously it's going to happen. I took that to potentially mean that 11's going to die, and then Mike is going to be single, and the show's going to end unambiguous with who Mike ends up with.
Oh, interesting.
I thought that's what that meant. But now I think it more means this, where Will literally goes on a character development journey about learning from Robin that he does not need Mike's affection in that way to accept himself, which is way more brilliant than any of the other options, in my opinion.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Yes.
We're going to talk about him being powerful now.
Oh, yeah, aura farming?
Go.
Will Byers killed 3 different Demogorgons in 3 different locations at the same time. Awesome. One of the best moments in the show.
My favorite part of it is that he kills them the way that Vecna kills.
He was giving a middle finger to Vecna, dude. He's snapping their arms in half.
Loved that.
Yeah.
So cool.
If they had eyes, he would have made them sink back in, but they didn't have any of those. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they all looked like they were about to die. Lucas was about to die. Robin was about to die. Mike was about to die. We didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to be that crazy. The white eyes rolled back, him aura farming, crazy. A lot of people are saying he's already done, in that one scene, done something more impressive than 11 ever has. Now that I'm thinking about it.
What's 11's best feat?
Probably like closing the gates.
In 2.
Yeah. But like, in terms of just like killing things or moving things, like she killed the hallway full of people when they were surrounded. She killed like 6 or 7 people in season 1.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty cool. But like,
those are people, not Demogorgons.
And they were all in the same hallway. He did this across Hawkins.
Yeah. It is impressive.
I mean, she flipped a van, she's flipped a car, she brought down a helicopter, but all of those are pretty good. But yeah, none of them are. She also is pretty good at like finding people in the bathtub. I think that's pretty cool. She also fought Vecna in a mind palace in a tub in a server's boy pizza. I don't know if Mike can do that. So it'll be very interesting to see where this goes. It'll be interesting to see where anything with Will goes. I want Will and Robin to still have some more moments. You know, I think they really had a good arc in the first 4, but I hope they get some more moments. And obviously I want Will, you know, it's going to be the Avengers. Avengers Assemble. 11, Will, and my goat, Callie. I'm just kidding.
11. I just have a question. What's the explanation for her not knowing that Hopper's alive? In season 4. She never searched for him. She just chose never to search for him.
Oh, yeah.
Because they do say that she's searching for Max and she's searching for Vecna and this and that. And based on who she is, it is kind of hard for me to believe that she wouldn't search for him. And if she would have searched for him, she would have found him immediately and known he was alive.
Yeah. No, I agree.
That's something that I've been thinking about lately where I'm like, oh, don't love that.
It's a plot hole I've heard before.
Yeah, don't love that. I did think about that recently, but no big deal.
I think the Will Aura farming moment at the end of episode 4
it was awesome.
Is one of the best scenes in the show.
See, I don't have it that high. I knew that you would adore it because you're such a superhero fan and you're such a I want superheroes to do awesome things fan. So there it was.
And look at the reactions it's getting. If you can create something that does that, I think it deserves to be at the top.
No, sure. I don't have it over Running Up the Hill.
I think I might.
Oh, no way. I don't have it over...
I did not react like that to Running Up the Hill. I think it's creative. I think it's awesome. I think it's top 3 moments of the show. But like, I was not going like this, be like, ah!
Yeah, but I have plenty of things that make me go, ah, right? That it doesn't need to be Stranger Things. And where I've enjoyed Stranger Things the most isn't that.
Like I always said, why can't it be both?
That's fine. I'm not mad at you.
I'm not mad at you. Anything else about Will?
Not really. You got anything else to finish off with?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got more.
All right, let's do it.
Another scene that I thought was interesting. Joyce has always been the protective mom. Of course she has been. She's great in season 1, and then she's like triggered for like 4 seasons straight, not letting Will do anything. And they introduced that again in episode 1, where he's not allowed to go in the van to help Steve. I loved the scene of Will being like, "Can you shut the frick up?"
Yeah, I think I mentioned that earlier. It's one of the best scenes in the show. It's so good.
It's also sweet. They give Will so much to do this season. I forgot this is one of the things that also Will's been doing. And then also he has a nice moment later where he kind of apologizes for that.
Of course.
Joyce apologizes.
It's so good.
It's so good. So I really like that. I want to talk a little bit theories and potential stuff. So the first thing I want to talk about is something that we talked about actually before this episode came out, that a lot of people had this theory and they are afraid that I do not want to happen. Oh, there's 2 things I don't want to happen that are introduced in this. What?
I do have something about Will.
Go ahead.
You mentioned something last night, and I wanted you to touch upon in the middle of Will's speech with his mother. You mentioned, you were like, this is a scenario where I would be okay with Will dying.
Yes. Okay, so
I would like you to touch upon that for them.
Great. I have been on the train that you cannot
Never kill Will.
Do not kill
Correct.
Will. It would be an extreme disservice to like the main plot of the show, which is Joyce trying to protect her son, especially in season 1.
Yep.
If she does all of that and then you kill him off, I think that's just a huge disservice to her character.
Yep.
However, this is the first time I have seen a scenario in which I might be okay with it.
Yes.
And that is, in season 5, Will is very connected to the Mind Flayer and the Hive Mind, obviously, and we get the little bit about him being, the closer he is, the more he can kind of control it, and we see that when Joyce is fighting the Demogorgon, he can kind of hold it back. Now he has powers, and there are multiple lines where like Mike or Will literally say, "You are Vecna, I am Vecna," right? So this is the first scenario in which I have seen a moment where Will has grown up. He has kind of had more adult conversations with his mom. He has set some boundaries. He has realized his potential. And now that he is more of an adult and more tied to this thing, he's when the Demogorgons get hurt, he gets hurt. A scenario in which he can say to Joyce, "This is why you saved me. I now have made this decision. I have accepted these things, and I love you and thank you for saving me and being the mom that you have been. You have now allowed me to do this, which I have to do. I would be more okay in that
And
scenario.
he dies to save everybody.
Yes.
Yes.
I still don't think that's necessarily going to happen, but that is way better than the scenarios in which I was seeing it, where like Vecna just kind of uses him, or maybe he sacrifices himself, but he's still not as developed as a character. I feel like this 4 episode has set up a scenario in which maybe I'd be okay with it. I still am not convinced it's going to happen, but that was the first time where I was like, okay, maybe that will work. Yeah. Okay. Another clip that I saw a clip of the Duffers talking about Byler, by the way. And they basically said, we see all that stuff online. We love that fans can do that. We love that fans are so invested that they're caring about these characters to do that. And then you kind of ended it with, like, but at the end of the day, we have to go into the writer's room and write what we think is best for these characters, which is, I think, is another example of them obviously doing the thing that they should do, which is Malevolent Endgame or something else, and not changing Mike's character, which I think it would be very forced or fan servicey, in my opinion. Dustin had an interview.
Gaten Matarazzo.
Gaten and Mike.
Finn Wolfhard.
Thank you. Finn and Gaten were doing an interview, and they were talking about theories online. And Gaten brought up the specific one about the whole show being a D&D campaign.
Yes. So that means that it's not that.
Yes, because he was like, I find these funny because of how ridiculous they are. And he was kind of laughing at it. So that makes me feel better, because that was one of the scenarios, or one of the fan theories that I thought might actually be a thing that I would not have liked. Mm-hmm. So that was good. Another theory about Stranger Things in its final season is that there's going to be time travel. And there was a lot of alluding to timey-wimey things that have me a little scared. Literally, Mike sees the book A Wrinkle in Time. Max, obviously it's a memory, so whatever, but she literally says, I was in a different time. And she was...
Hawkins, 1959.
Right, 30 years ago. So there are some moments where they were like really hitting the time, wrinkle in time travel, memory stuff. Do you think that's going to happen?
I think that the ending of Stranger Things will be similar to the ending of No Way Home. Where one or a few characters are going to know what's happened with the Upside Down all of this time, but then nobody else is aware.
That you might have cooked. That would be brutal.
I picked up on this timey-wimey thing the same way that you did, but that's what I picked up on it. It was just, this is how you do it, where you have this world, because the Duffers have been very particular the entire time. I said this since season 1. I said it would be dumb if the greater world, at least in Hawkins, didn't know that weird shit was going on. But they have always explained it away. They're still calling this an earthquake in this season. The army's there or whatever, and they patched it all up, but they patched it all up. They have been very... The government will cover this up. I think we are heading to a world where 11 remembers all of this, and maybe Mike and the party remembers all of this, but even somebody like Joyce doesn't remember all of this, and Will is just going to know that his mom is the fucking goat, but she's not going to know all the things that they went through. I think that is very possible.
That's a good theory.
This whole show, there's always been stuff where they're covering up the weird shit that happened. Barb died from a chemical leak or whatever, according to the world.
Yeah.
They're always doing that shit.
Have you ever seen the video game Life is Strange?
No.
It's kind of one of those like choose your adventure, like you have to choose different things that happen, and it's a time travel thing where like you can kind of go back and make different decisions every once in a while and stuff like that, and it's basically a story about two like high school girls like falling in love, and it's this whole freaking thing. Spoiler alert for the thing. At the very, very end, I watched Jacksepticeye do a whole playthrough of it. At the very, very end, because they did so much time travel, or this girl did that, she had to make a decision at the end, and it was either to not if she didn't go back and just let it be, and then they were together and they could live together, basically like the world, nature kind of revolted and like destroyed some parts of the, like there was like tsunamis and stuff because of all this time travel stuff. So you'd have to like sacrifice towns in the world basically, or you have to go back and do the right thing, and you time travel all the way back to the very start of the show or the movie or the game where the other girl gets shot and she dies and she doesn't get to be with her. And the game ends with like you revisiting one of the scenes that you made a decision in at the very beginning of the game, where she's like in a bathroom listening to someone get shot. And in the first time you play through it, you can run it back and save her, and this time you can't. And it's brutal. It's brutal. Very similar to maybe something you're saying where like maybe they know or they can't change something, but like because she's the only one that knows. She lived the whole freaking like summer with this girl and fell in love with this girl. But now maybe they won't.
It doesn't exist to anyone except her.
Except
it's
him.
Essentially a dream.
Yeah.
Duffer Brothers love shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Right.
That's my number one theory.
Okay, in terms of final things, Callie has been reintroduced. 8 is back, right?
Shocking
Shocking
that
Very,
they
very
didn't just
ballsy.
leave that alone. Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I think she's going to have 5 lines.
I want her to be enough of the story to justify that being a reveal, but I do not want her to be a main character. I want her to thread that line where she's important enough that that's why she's back, but not take up too much screen time from anybody else. Does that make sense?
I think that she is going to have been used as a tool to hunt 11, find 11, and attack 11, because they learn what hurts Callie, so they learn what hurts 11, and then they're going to kill her very early in episode 5, and 11's going to go on a fucking rampage.
That'd be sick.
That's what I think what happens.
Always down for that. In terms of reintroducing the character of 8 and Callie.
Yeah.
2 things. Number 1, what are her powers?
Visual.
Creating things that only certain people can see.
Correct. That aren't there.
Correct.
What are you pitching to me?
What is the main thread line of this entire show? Is kids seeing someone who is not there. Is Vecna using Dr. K potentially, or the government, or the military, or somehow just using Callie to do the Mr. What's-It? Because that is exactly her power. Is she also the one creating the entire dream world? That I don't know. It's more of a memory thing. But, like, that's specifically what she does.
I didn't connect 8 to Mr. What's-It at all. That is so interesting. You know what I think, though? I don't know what they're doing, and I don't really care. I think it is so interesting and Mr. What's-It is a good guy. I want that to be the case so badly. I know that that's like not really what's going on.
Henry?
Yes, but Mr. What's-It specifically. I don't care how you do it. I kind of want him to be a good guy. I think that would be very interesting.
But that's not going to happen because Vecna even talks about taking the kid. So they're still the same person.
But what if Mr. What's-It is trying to protect them? Is Mr. What's-It a good part of Vecna? Also, is Vecna as Darth Maul or Ultron or Grogu, however we want to call it, is that the Mind Flayer? Is that Henry Creel, a.k.a. 1, a.k.a. Vecna? Like, who is the head honcho here? They describe Vecna as the Mind Flayer's 5-star general. They describe him that way in season 4. Is it that? What's going on? Is Henry Creel a good guy? Is there a part of Henry that's a good guy? We don't know. Probably not, but we don't know.
I mean, he was still trying to kill Max, if that's the same.
I know, but it wasn't Mr. What's-It. It was him as the orderly, which we've seen being evil.
I would agree with you if the physical, Vine version of Vecna didn't also talk about doing the same thing that Mr. What's-It was doing.
Sure.
Right? You know
That's
what I mean?
fair.
That'd be
that was
interesting.
my least favorite part of the show. I forgot to mention that. I didn't like him saying that because it did take away the mystery from Mr. What's-It. But now that I'm going back on it, they could change it. I could see a world where they change it. I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, Mike even talks about in the show how, they don't believe in coincidences anymore. I just think it would be a really weird coincidence that Vecna is creating projections for certain characters this whole show, and they also introduce the one character that is known to do specifically that.
You're cooking.
And then that leads, if that's true, how is he doing that? She's in a room controlled by the government. Is Dr. K bad? Like, obviously she's bad and annoying, but like, is she flayed? Is she being controlled by Vecna? Why is she so hell-bent on 11? Like, obviously, they've had government officials do that in the past, but she seems on another level. And the one character that can do the things that have been happening is in the government compound. I don't know. Interesting to think about.
One of the funniest jokes in the show, this may be a slight Williamsburg bank building moment that maybe I only thought was funny. There's a scene where it's the most evil guy you've ever seen in your life, the black general guy. Do you know his name?
No.
All right. Him. He looks so evil. He's so good at looking evil. He's so fun to watch. But it's him in a scene, and then Akers, or one of the other army guys, is also in the scene. And the bad black guy has just the biggest collar you've ever seen in your life. And then the guy walks into a scene and he somehow has a bigger collar. And I thought, the way it was framed, it had to have been a joke. And I thought that was a very funny joke if it was on purpose. So I liked that quite a bit.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I want to tell you a fun fact, but I want to make sure it's true. Someone told me this. Hold on.
Yeah, show it to me. Give it to me.
The guy that we interrogate, Akers.
Akers, yeah.
Akers. Come on, give it to me. What's his name? His name is Alex Breaux. Breaux.
Okay.
Alex Breaux. Hold on. Give me a second. The play in New York, Stranger Things First Shadow. So he's Akers, right?
Akers, yep.
Akers, sorry. He plays young Dr. Brenner in the play.
Fun.
Isn't that interesting?
That's very fun.
And he's not just like a cameo in this. Like he's a
big part of it.
He's a big part of the thing. I just want to make he plays Dr. Brenner in the Broadway play.
That's great. Broadway play that I'm seeing, by the way.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This month or
I've
next
got
month?
tickets. December 4th.
You're going to love it now.
I'm excited.
Okay, go to the Patreon for an entire Stranger Things fan segment and a bracket. Wait, not a bracket.
We're doing the bracket right now. We're going to bake it up. I promise.
Okay.
16 seats.
Well, what else were we doing over there?
On the Patreon?
Yeah.
It's the Stranger
the bracket
Things fan
moments.
segment.
Yeah. Okay.
And the Stranger Things bracket also on there. And obviously other things on the Patreon as well. So we'll be really quick. This is one of the shortest brackets we've ever done in the history of the podcast.
Okay.
Andrew, do you know who the President of the United States is?
Yes.
Can you name him for me?
That would be Donald J. Trump.
Donald J. Trump is the President of the United States. And he is, at least
He's
to me...
a big fan of Bubba, so I've heard.
Sure. At least to me, he was introduced to me as an entertainer. Being on the Celebrity...
Home Alone 2, baby.
Yeah, and being on the Celebrity Apprentice.
Yeah.
So he has clear ties to the entertainment industry. And recently used his power as President of the United States to strong-arm a company into making a movie. Rush Hour 4 is officially in the works at Paramount per Trump's request. So this is a bracket of 16 movies that are in development hell or were canceled, that we would like. The winner of this bracket is what we would like Donald Trump most to force a studio to make.
We're going to petition the President of the United States
to make this movie.
Because obviously he watches the podcast.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yes. So the number one seed is TASM 3.
Well, yeah, that's going to win.
And it's versus Black Adam versus Superman, specifically Henry Cavill Superman.
Yeah, get it
I
out.
assume we know what the answer is there. That's TASM 3. We've got Duel of the Fates, which was the OG episode 9 instead of The Rise of Skywalker. Or we've got James Wan's Cthulhu movie. For me personally, can you give it to me?
Of course.
Thank you. I want James Wan's Cthulhu movie more than I want anything. X-Men Origins Magneto was slated to come out, but because Wolverine bombed so badly with critics and at the box office, they canceled every X-Men Origins movie, the next one being Magneto. I assume that's some Holocaust stuff. We did see some of that in First Class, but would love a whole movie of it. Or Josh Trank's Boba Fett movie. The reason I'm going Magneto here is because
You love Magneto.
I love Magneto. He's probably one of my favorite Marvel, probably my second or third favorite Marvel character ever. And Josh Trank made Fantastic. Even though he made Chronicle, he did make one of the worst movies ever. So don't know if I need his Boba Fett movie. We've got the Donald Glover Lando movie. If Solo would have done well, that would have probably been made. Or we've got the Batman Beyond movie with Spider-Verse animation. Have you seen those pictures?
Yes. That might win.
What a travesty that isn't going to be made. We've got The Hunt for Ben Solo. A lot of controversy about that lately. We had a full script.
Apparently it's a hot take that I do not care.
You don't care?
No.
I want a Steven Soderbergh movie, Star Wars movie. That sounds awesome.
Don't do it with Ben Solo. I don't care.
We've got Pirates of the Caribbean 6 or whatever it would be with Johnny Depp.
I'm going with that.
No, I'm going Hunt for Ben Solo here. You know you're going to get massacred if you don't go Ben Solo, at least over Pirates. I don't care.
Fine. I get the next one.
All right. Avengers Kang Dynasty. We are still getting Secret Wars, but Kang Dynasty became Doomsday. So that's Jonathan Majors, all that. Or, I don't know if you know this existed. Green Arrow Escape from Supermax, which was a movie from 2008. Obviously, Green Arrow, one of your favorite DC characters of all time. But April 2007, screenwriter Justin Marks from Street Fighter and The Legend of Chun-Li, The Jungle Book, teamed up with David S. Goyer from the Dark Knight trilogy to craft a solo film starring Oliver Queen, one that sought to defy conventional superhero tropes of the era with a dark villain-centric take on the best archer in comics. It was called Green Arrow Escape from Supermax, and he was going to be framed for a murder, and he was going to be essentially escaping from a prison the entire movie.
Interesting. And what is that up against?
Avengers Kang Dynasty, which I will take because it's an Avengers movie.
Okay.
You'll go there as well?
Yeah.
Ben Affleck Batman solo movie. Okay. Or the sequel to the Snyder Cut.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah, me too. But I really want to see more of that dark side. But I'll go Ben Affleck as well. Then we've got whatever Dark Universe movie was going to be next, right? We had The Mummy in 2017 with Tom Cruise. They canceled everything after that because that bombed. But there was going to be a Russell Crowe, Jekyll and Hyde. There was a Johnny Depp, The Invisible Man. But anything you want from there, that's what that's going against. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 4, which is obviously winning this.
I could make an argument.
I love you, Andrew. There's no argument to be made. If we don't pick Toby, we will be killed.
I know, but like he's got a trilogy. You know, what are we gonna do? We're gonna bring him back. He doesn't give it up.
John Malkovich as the Vulture, and Bruce Campbell's Mysterio. That's super fun. TASM 3.
Toby's the GOAT, but you know.
TASM 3 is.
The reason I say that is because I think the Dark Universe thing was a great idea, and I think it could have been.
Did you see that Mummy movie?
Yes, I did.
And do you like it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, there were parts of it that were good, and I like Tom Cruise.
Love Tom Cruise,
but. No, the writing was not great. But I think the general idea of doing a new thing with A-list actors like that, people love the Dark Universe, the epic universe. One of the most popular parts of the park
is the monsters.
And that's that's how Universal got started. I think it was such a great idea to kind of reinvigorate that and have a franchise where they're all kind of connected.
And they're all big actors. I mean, Russell Crowe, Johnny Depp. It was big time.
I was kind of excited for it, but yeah, The Mummy wasn't great.
I can't remember. Yeah, it was Javier Bardem was involved in that as well. I can't remember who he was, but he was involved. So TASM 3 is obviously beating James Wan's Cthulhu. May James Wan's Cthulhu rest in peace. X-Men Origins Magneto or Batman Beyond Spider-Verse animation.
Batman Beyond.
Hunt for Ben Solo or Kang Dynasty. I'm going Ben Solo here.
Whatever.
And then
Why? Why is that why is everyone so freaked out about that?
Because
all
Adam
anyone
Driver
ever has done for the last decade is talk about how bad those movies are.
First of all, I have not. Let it be known that Last Jedi is the third best Star Wars movie.
Ridiculous.
Adam Driver Kylo Ren is an excellent Star Wars character that got serviced very poorly.
He's Darth Vader.
Because he is objectively not Darth Vader. He is the opposite of Darth Vader. He is a dark side character that's being pulled by the light versus a light side character being pulled by the dark.
And then Darth Vader gets pulled back to the light right at the end. Just like
But
Kylo Ren did, and Kylo Ren killed Snoke.
But they weren't going to do that with Rise of Skywalker. He kills Snoke because he wants to be the main bad guy, and then because you and the rest of the internet hated Last Jedi, they went back to the thing that you like.
Not my fault. It was their fault for making a bad movie.
Yeah, you're right. It is the fault of Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger and everybody at Disney and Star Wars to make Rise of Skywalker not a sequel to Last Jedi. Yes, but the choice... Kylo Ren should not have ever been a good guy. Anyway.
No, he should have just been a masked character that has an interesting voice with a red lightsaber that works for a higher up Snoke Emperor type character. For the Empire, I mean...
in the words of the President of the United States of America, you're fired.
I'm still here.
Ben Affleck, Batman, or Toby?
Yeah.
God, doing the brackets on the iPad is so much harder than it should be. This is the toughest one yet. The Amazing Spider-Man 3 with Andrew Garfield coming back, or Batman Beyond with Spider-Verse animation?
I'm fine with either. I'd probably go TASM 3.
Of course. I think I will too, for the main reason being it would be much better for business.
Yeah.
TASM 3 would be the biggest thing that could possibly happen for our podcast, I think.
Really?
It would be much bigger than Batman Beyond and Spider-Verse animation. For sure. Then we've got Hunt for Ben Solo or Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4.
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
And then TASM 3.
And that is the number 1 seed versus the number 2 seed, and I will also go TASM 3.
W.
But that's a good one. And we will end this episode answering, in very Stranger Things fashion, answering the biggest mystery set at the start of this episode, which is, what in the world is this hat I'm wearing?
Oh, yeah.
A Stranger Things collaboration with the NFL. Who's greenlighting that? Well, it hit me with the tag. Last year, the NFL started Christmas game day games on Christmas on Netflix. And we are getting the second volume of Stranger Things Season 5 when?
Netflix.
On Christmas, on Netflix. So it's telling you, watch the football games from the NFL Christmas Day, and then at night, watch Stranger Things. This is the weirdest bit of cross-promotion I've ever seen. You paid $30 for this hat.
No way, did I?
That was on the tag that I took off right before this. You paid $30 for this hat. This hat will be worth $2 in a week and a half. One of the worst investments of your life.
Hey, shout out the Hall videos.
Shout out the Hall videos, which you should also watch because they're also great. Thank you so much.
Hey, Donald Trump, go make TASM 3.
Donald Trump, go make TASM 3. We love you.
Check
Happy
out the Patreon.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We're
Happy
thankful for
Stranger
you.
Things months.
Yes.
We're very thankful for you.
Yeah.
You're at the top of our list.
Yes,
of
absolutely.
Things. Love you. Bye-bye.